Good evening, students. So today we'll see the further part of the fifth module, that is the IT Act 2000. The topic is penalties and adjudication, in which we are going to see total 6 points: penalty for damage to computer system, compensation for failure to protect data, penalty for failure to furnish information return, residuary penalty, power to adjudicate, factors to be taken into account by the adjudicating officer. So these are the total 6 points we are going to see. We'll see one by one in detail. So the first one is a penalty for damage to computer system. If any person without permission of the owner or any other person who is in charge of a computer system or a computer network accesses or secures access to such computer system or computer network, downloads, copies or extracts any data, computer database or information from such computer system or computer network, including information or data held or stored in any removable storage medium, introduces or causes to be introduced any computer contaminant or computer virus into any computer system or computer network, damages or causes to be damaged any computer system or network, data, computer database or any other programs residing in such computer systems or network, disrupts or causes disruption of any computer system or a network, denies or causes the denial of access to any person authorized to access any computer system or network by any means, provides any assistance to any person to facilitate access to a computer system or network in contravention of the provisions of this act, rules or regulations made thereunder, charges the services availed of by a person to the account of another person by tampering with or manipulating any computer system or network. So for the purpose of this section, computer contaminant means any set of computer instructions that are designed to modify, destroy, record, transmit data or program residing within a computer system or computer network, or by any means to usurp the normal operation of the computer system or computer network. Computer database means a representation of information, knowledge, facts, concepts or instructions in text, image, audio, video that are being prepared or have been prepared in a formalized manner or have been produced by a computer system or a network and are intended for use in a computer system or a network. Then computer virus means any instruction, information, data or a program that destroys, damages, degrades or adversely affects the performance of a computer resource or attaches itself to the another computer resource and operates when a program, data or instruction is executed or some other events takes place in that computer resource. Damage means to destroy, alter, delete, add, modify or rearrange any computer resource by any means. Then second point is a compensation for failure to protect data. If a corporate handling any sensitive information in a computer resource owns, controls or operates in negligent in maintaining security which causes gain to other person, in such case the corporate shall be liable to pay damages to the aggrieved party. Here nothing but who is the in charge or who is going to maintain the sensitive information in a computer resource, he should be liable to pay the damage if any damage happens. Then a penalty for failure to furnish information written. If any person who is required under this act or any rules or regulations made thereunder to furnish any document, return or a report to the controller or the certifying authority fails to furnish the same, he shall be liable to a penalty not exceeding 1,50,000 rupees for each such failure. File any return or furnish any information, books or other documents within the time specified, therefore in the regulation fails to file, return or furnish the same within the time specified, therefore in the regulations he shall be liable to a penalty not exceeding 5,000 rupees for every day during which such failure continues. Maintain books of account or records, fails to maintain the same, he shall be liable to a penalty not exceeding 10,000 rupees for every day during which the failure continues. So if there has to be information written, then it has to be done within a specified time. Otherwise, who is failed to furnish the same, he will be liable to a penalty. It may be 1,50,000 rupees, or it may be 5,000 rupees per day, or it may be 10,000 rupees per day. Then residuary penalty. The contravention of which no penalty has been separately provided shall be liable to pay a compensation not exceeding 25,000 rupees to the person affected by such contravention, or a penalty not exceeding 25,000 rupees. Then power to adjudicate. For the purpose of adjudging under this chapter whether any person has committed a contravention of any of the provisions of this act or any rule, regulation, direction or order made thereunder, the central government shall, subject to the provisions of subsection 3, appoint any officer not below the rank of a director to the Government of India or an equivalent officer of a state government to be an adjudicating officer for holding an inquiry in the manner prescribed by the central government. The adjudicating officer shall, after giving the person referred to in subsection a reasonable opportunity for making representation in the matter, and if on such enquiry he is satisfied that the person has committed the contravention, he may impose such penalty or award such compensation as he thinks fit in accordance with the provision of that section. Then no person shall be appointed as a adjudicating officer unless he possesses such experience in the field of information technology and legal or judicial experience as may be prescribed by the central government. Where more than one adjudicating officers are appointed, the central government shall specify by order the matters and the places with respect to which such officers shall exercise their jurisdiction. Every adjudicating officer shall have the powers of a civil court which are confirmed of the Cyber Appellate Tribunal under subsection 2 of section 58, and all proceeding before it shall be deemed to be a judicial proceedings within the meaning of section 193 and 228 of the Indian Penal Code. Shall be deemed to be a civil court for the purposes of section 345, 346 of the Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Factors to be taken into account by the adjudicating officer. While adjudging the quantum of compensation under this chapter, the adjudicating officer shall have due regard to the following factors, namely the amount of gain of unfair advantage wherever quantifiable made as a result of the default, the amount of loss caused to any person as a result of a default, the repetitive nature of the default. Then the next point is the Cyber Regulation Appellate Tribunal, in which we are going to see total 16 points. So I am not going to list over those 16 points. We'll see one by one in detail. The first point is establishment of Cyber Appellate Tribunal. The central government shall by notification establish one or more appellate tribunals to be known as the Cyber Regulation Appellate Tribunal. The central government shall also specify in the notification referred to in subsection 1 the matters and the places in relation to which the Cyber Appellate Tribunal may exercise jurisdiction. Second one is the composition of a Cyber Appellate Tribunal. A Cyber Appellate Tribunal shall consist of one person only, hereinafter referred to as the residing officer of the Cyber Appellate Tribunal, to be appointed by notification by the central government. Then the qualification for appointment as the presiding officer of the Cyber Appellate Tribunal. A person shall not be qualified for appointment as the presiding officer of a Cyber Appellate Tribunal unless he is or has been or is qualified to be a judge of a high court, or he is or has been a member of an Indian legal service and is holding or has held a post in grade 1 of that service for at least 3 years. So this is what a minimum qualification required for appointing a presiding officer. Then terms of office. The presiding officer of a Cyber Appellate Tribunal shall hold the office for a term of 5 years from the date on which he enters upon his office or until he attains the age of 65 years, whichever is earlier. Next, salary, allowances and other terms and conditions of service of presiding officer. The salary and allowances payable to and the other terms and conditions of service, including pension, gratuity and other retirement benefits of the presiding officer of a Cyber Appellate Tribunal shall be such as may be prescribed. Filing up of vacancies. If for reason other than temporary absence any vacancy occurs in the office in the presiding officer of a Cyber Appellate Tribunal, then the central government shall appoint another person in accordance with the provision of this act to fill the vacancy, and the proceedings may be continued before the Cyber Appellate Tribunal from the stage at which the vacancy is filled. Then resignation and removal. The presiding officer of a Cyber Appellate Tribunal may, by notice in writing under his hand addressed to the central government, resign his office, provided that said presiding officer shall, unless he is permitted by the central government to relinquish his office sooner, continue to hold office until the expiry of 3 months from the date of receipt of such notice, or until a person duly appointed as his successor enters upon his office, or until the expiry of his terms of office, whichever is the earliest. The presiding officer of a Cyber Appellate Tribunal shall not be removed from his office except by an order by the central government on the ground of proved misbehavior or incapacity after an inquiry made by a judge of a Supreme Court in which the presiding officer concerned has been informed of the charges against him and given a reasonable opportunity of being heard in respect of these charges. The central government may by rules regulate the procedure for the investigation of misbehavior or incapacity of the aforesaid presiding officer. So the further point we'll see in the next video.